Hey guys, good morning. Hello. Let's do a garden walkabout. It's been a month, so it's time. Okay, so, our focus the last month has been on building the chicken coop. But even so, the garden had to be tended, and we were in full swing on harvest, which means preserving, which was also in full swing. So we've been busy, and things look very different than they did a few weeks ago. Now, we are weeks away from peak fall colors in the Black Hills, but a few days ago we were in the southern Black Hills, and I'll tell you what, the trees are beginning their fall transformation, and so is our garden. I think I'm going to start this walkabout in my pantry. I think that might be a good place to show you what I've been doing for a few weeks. So let's go in here. Okay, so I harvested the shallots and cured them. And started another gallon of apple cider vinegar. I've started collecting seeds. This is the pink salvia, the blue salvia, and a native purple flower. These 3 jars are peppers that are fermenting for my fermented hot sauce. I've been freezing tomatoes for a few weeks. I just pulled 45 pounds of them out of the freezer, and that made 4 gallons of tomato sauce. And these are 4 jars of shelf-stable dill pickles. So yes, the garden is showing signs of fatigue, and I've actually removed quite a few plants already. But I am hopeful that we'll harvest another 50 or 60 pounds of tomatoes. I've got a lot of tomatoes still on the vine, and I need more shelf-stable pickles. So hopefully the weather holds and the garden is productive for a few more weeks. The Roma tomatoes are really coming on strong. Look at this plant here. Lots of Romas. Of course, they make a wonderful sauce. This plant too. Yeah, I've still got a lot of green tomatoes on the vine. It didn't take John long to start another project after the coop build. The Easy Up we used in this little outdoor woodworking area worked in a pinch, but this lean-to style roof is much sturdier, and it'll keep the area drier, and it looks nicer. Okay, in the greenhouse I've got sage and oregano, and what's the other one? Oh, comfrey that I'm drying. And I plan to introduce these herbs to my chickens' diets. But I'm going to take the advice I like to give others and do research beforehand. So if you have any experience adding herbs to chicken feed, please let me know in the comments. One of the beauties of this platform is that we can share experience and learn from each other. So yeah, let me know what you know about adding herbs to your chickens' diets. Okay, and then out here, yes, I still have lots of peppers to harvest. And my plan is to freeze some. And then, of course, I'm going to share some with my friends and family. And also, I want to ferment some more. So that's the peppers. These are my onions. Very sad onions. I have come to the conclusion that I do not know how to grow onions. So between now and next garden season, I am going to study up and learn how to grow good onions. Next year, I plan to give them prime real estate and the right nutritional needs and proper attention, and I'm not going to neglect my onions. So I am still dehydrating zucchini for making the Amish flour. My zucchini plants here in the courtyard are looking pretty tired, and they have powdery mildew. So they're still producing though. But after the next harvest, I will take these plants out. And the yellow zucchini in the backyard garden is still looking pretty good and producing. And that plant I started after harvesting my garlic is looking great and is loaded with zucchini. Okay, update on the Walk of Shame pumpkin. Which one is it? Okay, it's that one right there. That's the one that I cut, or I harvested unintentionally very early. I just put it on the patio out of direct sun and it started ripening, so it'll be fine. I also harvested 12 sugar pie pumpkins from the Survival Seeds 2025 collaboration, and those were seeds that we were gifted from Rainbow Seeds as part of that collaboration. Now, it is a good idea to cure homegrown pumpkins by placing them, you know, in a warm, dry area with well ventilation for 2 weeks to harden the skin and heal any blemishes. This will give them a longer shelf life, but it also concentrates the natural sugars and improves the flavor. I plan on pressure canning pie pumpkin, but these will store really well for a couple months, and I can do that in a few weeks. But yeah, there's my pumpkin harvest. So most of my hanging baskets are gone. I have taken out quite a few tomato plants that were done producing. Yeah, it's looking a little different here in the courtyard. So let's take a look at the back garden. And a look at the back garden. Empty pots. Pumpkins are gone. We did add another bed a couple weeks ago. This will be my garlic bed. So I have been conditioning the soil for a couple of weeks. So we use bagged soil for these new beds that we're putting in. And you know, a lot of that soil you get says it's organic, it says it's an expert grade, it says it's pro mix, you know, they talk very highly of their product, but I don't think any of them start out great. You need to build that soil. So I have been conditioning this bed in preparation of planting the garlic in a few weeks. The first step I did was added bud meal and bone meal, and I kept it damp for about a week. Second step, I gave it a light application of worm castings and a soil drench with a product called Recharge. So Recharge is a soil amendment product that contains beneficial microbes and bacteria. And it also has natural ingredients like kelp and molasses and amino acids. If I want thriving plants, I need soil that has a thriving colony of, you know, beneficial life. So until I plant the garlic, I will keep this bed hydrated, you know, not soggy and not super wet, just hydrated. Finally, when the garlic begins to grow next spring, it will get an application of yeast fertilizer. Okay, so carrots and beets are still a couple weeks away from harvest. These tomato plants back here are still doing pretty good. They have more fruit ripening. I'm getting ready to harvest cabbage to make sauerkraut. This is that zucchini plant I planted after I harvested the garlic, and boy, it's beautiful. It's really enjoying this weather. I noticed, well, I don't know if the camera will pick up all of the fruit that are set on this thing, but yeah, see all those fruit? Oh, there's a big one. There's one I clearly missed when I harvested the other day. Oh, yeah, look at that. That's nice. Set this guy down here. Okay, so that's how my garden looks mid-September. And boy, it just changes daily with fall coming in. So that pretty much brings you up to speed on our garden. I hope you enjoyed today's walkabout. So I'll leave you with a short clip of the ladies of Layer Lodge starting their morning. They're settling in really nicely. They're about 15 weeks old now. And Doing really good. Okay, thank you for joining me today. May you be blessed, stay grateful, and continue building a life you love.